I trust you are doing amazing. This is a day that the Lord has made. We should rejoice and be glad in it, right? So, you know, this is just one of those days. Mm, actually caught a sore throat, and so my voice sounds a bit hoarse and may sound husky as well. So please pardon me about that, but I really need to get these words out. Like, they just wouldn't leave my spirit. And I feel really nudged to put this word out. Like, the Holy Spirit is really nudging me to put this word out. This particular word is a word that I received a couple of days ago, yeah? Because it was something that I noticed in the spirit, right? Give me a second. So I'll go straight into this video, and I pray that the Lord grants me the grace to go straight, ahead into it, and so the word would not be vague, and it will also give everyone understanding, right, on what exactly has been going on. Okay, so this is what is going on. Some of you are, you know, the enemy knows where you are headed, and the truth of the matter is, you have been through so many, obstacles that the enemy has been trying to throw into your path. I strongly believe that this word has to do with the chosen ones, because you know, with how I receive this word, right? You know, you have passed through a lot of trials, tribulations, a lot of obstacles generally from the enemy. The thing is that most of you chosen ones were actually living in sin before the Lord had to handpick you. The Lord had to take you through, when you received Jesus Christ, you had to go through a healing and deliverance process, and there were some demons that were attached to you. For instance, the the spirit of lust, the spirit of addiction, the spirit of perversion, the spirit of you know Leviathan. All these spirits were attached to you, but the Lord delivered you from these spirits. And some of you actually have knowledge about how these spirits operate, if you have gifts to see in the spirit and gifts to also hear, right? And also if you're a seer, because it's different if you can see in the spirit, and it's also different if you have discernment to be able to pick up on things physically around you, right? These are all gifts that the Lord has given to you. And the thing is that the enemy is well aware of where you are headed, and he knows that you are very close. Some of you have actually had, demonic spirits from the bloodline, trying to torment you, because, they know their time is very limited. And so they will try to do everything possible to stop you, everything possible to try to block you. But the thing is that they've tried all these things and they are all not working. So the enemy has been also using witches, warlocks to attack you, to afflict you, and so on and so forth, to try to just mess up with the purpose that the Lord has you walking in. But all the enemy has been doing has been proving futile, has been proving futile. And the enemy is, he's like a roaring lion. He's just seeking for whom to devour. And he works tirelessly, when you are literally not looking. He will always try to come and catch the people of God off guard. That's why we always have to walk in holy fire and holy dominion. So this is what is happening, right? This is what I saw. These spirits have left you, but the thing is that they are around the people closest to you, right? Some of you have people that are close to you that have these spirits on them, like family, etc., that have these spirits on them. And so some of you, the Lord has actually called you to distance yourself from them. You may be in the same space or same home with them, but then the Lord has been calling you to distance yourself from them and not get so close and all of that, right? Because the spirits are trying to find their way to latch themselves onto you again, because you know, you have been delivered from these spirits, but these spirits are on these people. And so that's how familiar spirits work, especially if they are in the bloodline. When they can't have access to you, you know, when the spirit cannot have direct access to you, it always uses people. Literally, the spirit uses people. For instance, I remember that when I you know, one of the things that, you know, were a consistent pattern in my bloodline is smoking of weed, right? So some way, somehow, through a friend in the past, the familiar spirit used to get me into doing that. And so all of a sudden I started, you know, the familiar spirit also started engaging people around me that were also into the same habit. Not to be judgmental about them or to call them bad or anything, but the thing is that it's familiar. Something that is, if you are, there's a spirit of addiction in your family, right? And there's also a spirit of addiction around, like, with this, that is on someone that is around you, you know, because the spirit in your family is lurking and looking for you to be able to, you know, bite the bait so that it can have access to you. It would then use friends, it would then use, you know, acquaintances and so on and so forth. So this is what's going on. These spirits, you know, are coming back fiercely to people. You know, there are some people that are not necessarily around you that are walking in holy fire at the moment, but the thing is that you know, not everyone is walking in holy fire, not everyone is staying prayed up, not everyone is seeking the Lord, not everyone is having access or having a prayer life. And so the way you may be walking in holy fire and in holy dominion, when the people around you are not walking in holy dominion, the spirit will try to attach itself to them, because the spirit knows that they are close to you, so then they can be able to have access to you, right? For instance, this the spirit of addiction may have left someone closest to you, but all of a sudden you see that the spirit of addiction has gotten back to them. For instance, this spirit of addiction to smoking, right, has gotten back access to the people around you. Actually, the truth of the matter is you are the target, because the enemy is well aware of where you are headed, right? So it's having the access to the people around you. So when you get close to these people, the edge for these things becomes top notch. You begin to imagine it, you begin to feel so tempted to get into it, and so on and so forth, right? And I believe that there are a lot of you who are relating to this right now, right? Some of you, the Lord has actually separated you from your family, but there are some of you, the Lord has not yet separated you from family and a couple of people, right? So, you know, there's still the lingering around, you know, the spirit are lingering around and looking for a way to, you know, attach themselves to you. And also, even it's a spirit that has afflicted the bloodline for years, for generations, for like 20, 10, over 10 generations. Do you really think that that spirit will be happy knowing that it has to let you go? No. So they'll always try to latch themselves onto you, to try to oppress you and to afflict you. You know, all these things are tactics that the enemy is trying to use to frustrate. You know, the enemy sometimes comes in with the trials, you know, comes in with his noise, you know, because he's a roaring lion. He is like a roaring lion, you know. He'll come up with the threats and trying to implant fear and all of that, hoping that you'd give up and hoping that you'd be frustrated and all of that. But thank you, Holy Spirit. the Holy Spirit let me know that it's all deception, it's an illusion, trying to like mess up with you, trying to like, if you're actually feeling certain spirits, for instance, you got delivered from a spiritual spouse, and then you begin to feel these things again. They are just trying to oppress you because they have actually don't have access to you, right? But then these spirits are hovering and working with full force around the people close to you. So if you realize some people close to you may be indulging in certain habits, like they are, smoking time in time out, like last time in time out, but in this period is on an all-time high, and it's even latching itself to the people that you never knew that they had these spirits on them, right? All of a sudden, when you get close to them, you begin to sense the spirit of them if you are spiritually sensitive, right? And these spirits are trying everything possible to drag you back into sin cycles. It's crazy. It's crazy. But the enemy is it's a joker. He's a big joke. You get it? So the Lord richly bless you. Now, please don't forget to rebuke, cancel, denounce, and always ask the Lord that He should deliver you from evil, because you never know how these spirits can be able to latch on people you least expect, and then the next thing you realize, you have fallen into a trap that you weren't supposed to fall into. So be mindful and be vigilant. Also ask the Lord that He should increase your spiritual discernment, and also to help you to be vigilant in the spirit, right? So that you not be caught off guard, or you not be falling into a trap. And also, these witches and warlocks are trying everything possible at this time, trying all the old tactics that they tried in the past. Like, they are literally trying everything all over again, right? To see if it's going to work. For instance, the Lord has actually been guiding and putting in my heart to share certain things I've been experiencing with the witchcraft afflictions and stuff. Actually, the truth of the matter is, I am under the same roof with someone that is a witch, right? And so the enemy has been using this person full force, right? And there are certain things that even if when you say it, it may sound crazy to someone who does not understand how these witches and warlocks operate. Okay, they can do the worst of the worst things just to frustrate you, just to make your life miserable and all of that. Like afflict your life in several different ways. They will not only send demonic spirits to you, they will be sending demonic scents around you. They will be doing, crazy things. And one of the things that the Lord made me see was that, when they give you something, when they think that they are supposed to give you, like the thing they give you is supposed to serve a particular purpose. For instance, they give you a vitamin C, right? The vitamin C is supposed to give you vitamin, like, because you're lacking the vitamin C, which is supposed to fight, which is supposed to, regulate your antibodies in your system. When they give you that vitamin C, it's actually going to cause a loss of vitamin C in your system, because theirs is distraction. So whatever they give you, if it's actually that thing was meant for a good purpose, it's actually going to carry out the opposite of the purpose which is supposed to. For instance, this person used to bring like Milo to the house, and when she brings it, the Lord actually showed it to me in the spirit. So when the person brings it, what it actually does is it's an energy drink. The Lord actually gave me deep revelation about this, and it's an energy drink. It's an when you even look on the seal or the paper, you see that they've written energy food drink, right? But it ends up doing the opposite, which is by draining your energy. right? If the Lord grants me the grace, right, I'm going to go deeper and deeper into these things that they do. At first I was feeling a little uncomfortable to share these things, but the Lord put it into my heart to be sharing my testimonies. So yeah, also pray for vigilance at this point, because they are doing everything possible. They are losers, they've already lost, but they are literally doing everything that they want to do at this point in hopes that it's going to work. But it never works. When the Lord allows these things to happen, sometimes it's to give us wisdom, it's to give us knowledge on how the kingdom of darkness operates. Okay, so the Lord richly bless you. And please take very good care of yourself. Stay prayed up as usual. And also don't forget to add me to your prayers. The peace of the Lord be with you. Goodbye.